And so the recommendation of the many that you recommended family separation.
I recommended zero tolerance.
Which includes family separation.
The same as is with every U.S. citizen parent gets arrested when they're with a child.
Zero tolerance was interpreted as the policy that separated children from their
If I get arrested for DUI and I have a young child in the car, I'm going to be separated. When I was a police officer in New York and I arrested a father for domestic violence, I separated that father from his
Mr. Homan,
family.
with all due respect, legal asylees are not charged with any crime.
When you're into the country illegally, it's a violation.
Hey folks, welcome back to Congress Every Day. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on important discussions like today's video. We're diving into a heated and controversial topic today, AOC's questioning of border security policies and family separation. This debate has been circulating for a while now, and tensions are running high, so let's break it all down. First up, we've got Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, AOC, taking a hard stance on border security and the controversial family separation.
Violation 8 United States Code 1325.
Seeking asylum is legal.
If you want to seek asylum, you go through the port of entry, do it the legal way. The Attorney General of the United States has made that clear.
Okay. Mr. Chair, the memo is submitted to the record for review. Inspector General Costello, one last thing. Is there a record, based on reports throughout the year, and in our hearing earlier this year, we spoke with Ms. Juarez, a mother who lost her child due to inhumane conditions in the facilities. We learned that there is no accurate record and no policy being held of people who are pregnant and people who endure miscarriages. Is there a record of who enters and leaves these facilities?
Family separation policy. In a recent committee hearing, AOC directly challenged former ICE Director Tom Homan on whether the United States is violating international human rights agreements with its family separation practices. AOC argues that family separation goes against human rights agreements the U.S. has signed, particularly those emphasizing family unity. She posed the question to Homan: is this policy a violation of international law? It's a strong claim, and it really gets to the heart of this debate over border control and immigration. Homan didn't back down.
I'm not familiar with the instance you're talking about, but I do believe the facilities keep custody logs and logs, but I'm not familiar with the incident you're talking about.
And where would we find those records?
I believe all the facilities keep them on site, CBP and ICE facilities.
And if you believe that the records are not accessible, or if we find that the records are not accessible, do you believe the committee should seek to request records from DHS on the location of children and those that are detained?
Well, we would never opine about what the committee would request and not request, so.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Homan, the actions you took when you were director of ICE were entirely consistent with the law of the land, weren't they?
Yes, when someone's prosecuted for a crime, the child can't go to jail with the parent.
Yep.
That happens to American families every day.
Yeah, and if we, as you said, I think earlier, if we don't like the law, last time I checked, it's the folks sitting up here got to change it.
Yeah.
And you've offered, I think, no more than 4 times 3 changes to the law that would help the situation. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Maybe make it a 5th time. Can you say it a 5th time for this group? Just, because, again, we're the ones that have to change the law. So give us that recommendation a 5th time, the 3 things that we got to do.
If we would close the loopholes in the TVPRA, where children in Central America are treated the same as children in Mexico, if we would change the Flores settlement agreement so we can actually detain families in family setting long enough to see a judge and plead their case.
He confirmed that he signed the controversial zero tolerance memo, which led to family separations, but clarified he wasn't the sole author. Homan pointed out that zero tolerance is similar to any law enforcement protocol where, if a parent is arrested, their child must be separated for safety reasons. It's a tough stance, but one that reflects the harsh realities of border enforcement policies. Now, on to solutions. Homan offered specific recommendations to address the border crisis and prevent situations like family separation. First, he suggested closing the TVPRA loopholes, changing the Flores settlement to allow longer family detentions, and reforming asylum.
If we can change the rules of asylum so it makes more sense, so 90% of the people don't pass the first interview and a lot fewer pass in front of a judge, those 3 things would would make a big difference on the border and decrease the illegal entry.
Because those three things go to the heart of the matter. They go to the incentive. Is that right?
They go to incentive along with the other things, such as talking about abolishing ICE, having no detention, free education,
Yeah.
free medical care, citizenship for those who are here illegally. When you keep offering incentives for people to come, sanctuary cities, come to this country, you'll be protected from ICE. As long as you keep having this language, more people who are vulnerable people are going to keep trying to come.
Those kind of statements made by Democrats in the United States Congress or in positions of influence in this country, they have an impact, don't they?
They have a significant impact.
When a member of Congress says abolish ICE, when another member of Congress says abolish DHS, when the Speaker of the House says walls are immoral, when the person who gave the State of the Union response to the President's State of the Union says she's okay with non-citizens voting, that all has an impact, doesn't it? Just like
asylum laws to streamline the process and reduce abuse. And of course, the border wall. Homan and Congressman Jim Jordan advocate for a border wall to reduce illegal immigration and protect both citizens and migrants. So, where does this leave us? The family separation debate is far from over. AOC's human rights argument resonates with many, but there's no denying the complexity of border control policies. Tom Homan's perspective gives us a clearer look at the reality of enforcing U.S. immigration laws and the tough decisions law enforcement faces. I want to hear your thoughts. Do you think family separation is justified under U.S. law? Is it a violation of human rights, or a necessary evil in dealing with border security? Drop your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more in-depth discussions on immigration, politics, and everything else you need to know. Thanks for watching.